The air on the staircase was cold and still, tasting of concrete and dust. Emma pushed open the heavy fire door, the sigh of its hinges the only sound in the twilight. She leaned against the railing, pulling a cigarette and a cheap plastic lighter from her pocket. A stolen moment. A tiny rebellion. The first drag was a ritual, the burn in her lungs a familiar comfort. She exhaled, watching the gray smoke curl and vanish into the dimness. Silence. Perfect, isolating silence. Knock. The sound was sharp, definitive, like a knuckle rapping solid wood. It came from directly behind her. Emma flinched, the cigarette almost slipping from her fingers. She turned. There was only the blank, painted surface of the elevator shaft door, set into the wall. No one there. The corridor below was empty, swallowed by shadows. Hello? Her voice was small, absorbed by the concrete. Silence. She shook her head, a nervous laugh escaping her lips. Just the building settling. She took another, slower drag, trying to steady her pulse. Knock, knock, knock. 3 rapid, impatient taps. Closer this time. Right on the other side of the elevator door. Her blood went cold. This wasn't her imagination. Who's there? She demanded, her voice gaining a brittle edge. No answer. Only the sound of her own ragged breathing. Then, a new sound. A soft, wet, dragging noise. Like a damp cloth being slowly pulled down the other side of the metal door. Emma backed away, her shoulder blades hitting the opposite wall. The cigarette, forgotten between her fingers, burned down to the filter, searing her skin. Ow! She dropped it, the ember dying on the dusty floor. The moment the light went out, the dragging stopped. And then, a voice. It was a distorted whisper, a cracked echo of her own. Ow! Terror, pure and electric, locked her in place. The elevator door's metal surface began to change. A darkness seeped through from the other side, not a shadow, but a thick, oily stain. It swirled and coalesced, forming the shape of a human figure, a tall, slender silhouette that mimicked her own panicked posture. It raised a hand, a dark limb of shifting smoke, and pressed it against the inside of the door. Knock! Emma couldn't scream. She could only watch, paralyzed, as the thing on the other side began to mimic her entire ritual. It lifted its other hand to its featureless face. A faint, red ember glowed to life where its mouth should be. It took a long, slow, imaginary drag. And then, it exhaled. A plume of black, billowing smoke poured through the seams of the elevator door, filling the stairwell with the smell of burnt plastic and decay. It didn't dissipate. It crept towards her, a living fog. This was no hallucination. This was a consequence. A punishment for a simple, dirty habit, summoned from some unimaginable place. The smoke wrapped around her ankles, cold and clinging. It was her last cigarette. She knew that now. She just never thought she'd be the one being smoked.